Welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy, and today we will be completing part 17. So after the incident of going through Salazar Slytherin's secret room and learning Crucio, one of the unforgivable curses, we have to debrief with Sebastian, and we also got to talk about Ominous and the aftermath of learning and casting that spell. So let's go see what they have to say. Should be interesting here at the Undercroft. Let's get it. I totally understand why Ominous Gaunt is very concerned about us learning dark magic, and I do understand where Sebastian's coming from, where he is willing to do anything and everything to try and find a solution for his sister's health. So let's go talk to him real quick.
What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium?
Salazar Slytherin's spellbook was a little difficult to interpret, but fascinating. Evidently, he encouraged teaching dark magic at Hogwarts. Neither the Imperious Curse nor the Killing Curse was unforgivable during his time. He believed students should be prepared to use dark magic when necessary, not to fear it. That's why we had to use Crucio to gain access to the scriptorium. He didn't want his knowledge shared with anyone who was afraid of the power of dark magic.
I know we had to do it to open the scriptorium, but it's not something I'd want to repeat.
And I'm glad we did it, because in the spellbook I also found something else. References to a lost relic, which, from what I can tell, grants the holder the power to reverse dark magic curses.
And you think this relic might be able to save Anne?
Precisely. I plan to search for this relic, but I don't think we should tell anyone. Especially Ominous. He wouldn't understand.
I see no reason to involve Ominous.
I'm glad you agree. When I know more, I shall send an owl. And don't feel sorry for Ominous. Keeping this to ourselves for now is for his own good.
I'll decide what's for my own good.
Ominous, we were just about to get some air. Care to join?
You're a liar, Sebastian. I heard everything. You swore you'd never engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
No, I didn't. I said I understood you wanting that. I'd never swear to give up on finding a cure for Anne.
You don't know when to stop, do you?
I know when not to stop. Leave this alone, Ominous. I'll be on my way.
I am not letting this go.
Ominous, Sebastian meant well.
I know what I heard. You knew I wouldn't agree with this. Going after that relic is not a good idea. Sebastian doesn't even realize it, but he's as irresponsible and reckless now as his parents were years ago. It's why they died.
I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Sallow were professors. Spent nearly every waking moment in the cellar library. Noses buried in books. Anne and Sebastian were upstairs when it happened. They heard a sudden crash and ran downstairs, but it was too late. Their parents had crumpled to the floor. A defect with the lamp in the cellar caused the room to fill with an undetectable toxin. Sebastian and Anne were helpless. They had no magic yet.
What a horrible story.
It is. That's why I can't understand Sebastian's recklessness. I've practically lost Anne. I cannot lose Sebastian too. Please avoid anything to do with that spellbook.
Some references Sebastian mentioned in the book do worry me.
I'm glad you understand. I hope Sebastian pursues this no further. But if you think he might, please let me know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Ominous on this one. I don't want Sebastian to fall too far deep into the dark arts, dark magic. So I think it'll be very important to be able to talk to him and make sure he doesn't cross any line. Not sure if you guys notice anything different about my character, but we are now level 24. But as you can see, in a couple seconds, my character actually has some new gear on them. So we'll see right there. And what do you guys think about this Gryffindor robe? I think it's pretty cool. So our next mission, we have to go talk to Poppy, the one who really loves the fantastical beasts, and we got to help her figure out a way to stop the poachers and to stop Ranrock and his forces. So let's go talk to her and let's continue on. We'll see you in a minute.
Is Highwing all right? Natty told me what the two of you did.
Well, here's Poppy right around the outskirts of Hogwarts, so let's see what's
Highwing's
up.
fine. I'm keeping an eye on her. She's safe, Poppy, I promise.
Good. Whatever the poachers are up to, I want Highwing far from it.
You said you had news about the poachers, and that some of it had to do with me.
It did. I overheard them talking in the Hogshead, and did you know that they have orders from Victor Rookwood to capture you on sight? Does this have anything to do with Rookwood and Harlow coming for you in the Three Broomsticks after the troll attack?
It does, somewhat. But at the moment, I'm more concerned about what else you heard the poachers are up to.
Fair enough. But I hope you'll let me know if I can be of help, especially after what you did for Highwing. Does the name Horntail Hall mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not. Why? What is it?
The poacher's best kept secret, apparently. The name came up twice, but they never went into detail. I also overheard one of them bragging about all the gold they're making, at the expense of innocent creatures, undoubtedly. The poachers spoke of this area, and I thought if we searched around a bit, it might give us clues as to what they're doing. If you ever meet my Gran, this trip never happened.
Not to worry, Poppy. If I ever meet your Gran, I shall not speak a word of this.
I normally tell her everything. She might be my best friend after Highwing, but she knows how I feel about the poachers. I think she worries I'll do something ill-advised.
Whatever gave her that idea?
I really do love
This
the
way.
story of different characters in different houses all coming together for us, the new kid, and helping us on along our main quest. And I love how those stories intertwine with one another. It's very cool to see.
A centaur. Tread carefully.
There we go. There's our centaur friend. That's interesting to
An
see.
entire castle to roam, yet you choose to wander here.
Please, we don't want any trouble. We're simply passing through.
Do you take us for fools? That we do not notice more and more of your kind around here, in league with the poachers?
We aren't involved with them. If anything, we want to see them stopped.
I hope for your sake that is true. Our kind is swiftly losing patience with the poachers and those they work with.
I feel the centaur creatures are very misunderstood, and I really enjoy them. And they're one of my favorite
He was
characters
certainly a charmer.
mythologically
That
and
could have
throughout
gone
this
worse.
Hogwarts world.
Centaurs aren't exactly fans of wizard kind, and the poachers aren't helping matters.
But why would he think that we had anything to do with poachers?
I did notice the poachers talking with a few villagers in Hogsmeade. I'm not sure why. Perhaps that's why the centaurs are suspicious.
But I'm so thankful that Poppy's very into protecting the wildlife, because if she isn't there, I'm not sure many people would. Very awesome to see that about her character.
That's the third time I've seen a dugbog behave that violently.
It seems that a lot of beasts have been more aggressive than usual lately.
I've noticed that too. It's almost like there's something in the water.
Definitely, water could be a possibility. That's one of the most
This
common
is
ways that we
odd.
can affect our
What
body.
is it?
Not entirely sure, but look around. If the poachers were here, perhaps we can find out why.
Why wouldn't they take their cages with them when they left? Pelts. Poor beasts. Still smoking. They can't have been gone long.
Man, that was a sad sight to see throughout this camp. So, I'm very thankful for the mission that we and Poppy are on together. So, let's make a
This
difference.
is goblet metal. Seems out of place in a poacher camp. I should tell Poppy about it.
Changing of seasons throughout this game is really cool too. And I'm really enjoying this winter atmosphere. And I guess that's one way the game can showcase
Anything
the
interesting?
different part of the game we're on, the next
Poachers
chapter,
were
so to
here.
speak.
All sorts of evidence. But I found something else. It's goblin made.
I found goblin armor. Let's keep searching, but carefully. Merlin only knows what's going on here. I don't have a good feeling about this.
So I guess Rookwood's guys are poachers, so I guess that's where Ranrock's
How
getting the
did
wizard
goblin
army
and
from.
poacher interests align?
Look, down there.
Definitely poachers. No creatures though. So what are they doing out here?
Let's take a closer look.
They won't be happy to see us. Should we use disillusionment? Or perhaps a less discreet approach?
Hard to say from up here. Let's get a better lay of the land.
Looks like we got more trouble in front of us. Looks like we have these poachers to defeat. But it's starting to get to the climax of the game, and I can tell we are really... And look at that guy go. But we are really progressing in this game, and I'm very happy about that. It's more than I could ever imagine it being as good as it is. It is a phenomenal game and well worth the wait, and it's really spectacular to see on next-gen consoles so far. I know that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X has been out for about 3 years now, believe it or not, but to me it's always next-gen for now. Although I have, I'm playing this on the PlayStation 5, I'm still so used to playing on my PlayStation 4 that, the PS5, despite being 3 years old, still seems next gen. It looks like our marker's a couple meters away, so let's see what's up and let's look around at this poacher tent. Should be interesting.
What in Merlin's name?
Are those dragons?
It's a dragon fighting ring. This is Hauntel Hall.
The name makes sense now, and the secrecy.
No wonder the poachers were in Hogsmeade so much. Likely taking bets and spreading the word, given how crowded it is here. How could they possibly enjoy this? The centaurs have every right to be disgusted with wizard kind. There must be more dragons here. The poachers are far too greedy to run a fighting ring with only 2 dragons. We should take advantage of most eyes being in the fight and look around. But be discreet. You especially can't afford to be spotted.
That is pretty wild to see. Looks like the poachers have an underground dragon fighting ring. And it looks like in an inexplicable tent. And it's crazy to know how expansive this single tent is. Reminds me of the ones that the Weasleys, Diggories, and Harry Potter used in the Goblet of Fire at the Quidditch World Cup. Just looking like an unassuming tent, but in reality, being a full-fledged house, so to speak. Crazy. Like the nod that the game also had for the Hungarian Horntail. You guys remember in Goblet of Fire? That is the dragon that Harry Potter fought in the first trial of the Goblet of Fire in the Triwizard Tournament. So that's a cool nod. And if you guys remember, the Hungarian Horntail was the most aggressive dragon out of all the ones that were faced throughout the Triwizard Tournament. I am really enjoying the cinematics sprinkled throughout the game. I think it's very good at storytelling. There is elements of this game that are explained through the notes we collect throughout the world though. But I think my favorite cutscenes that we see throughout this game are the ones that include dragons. So the one that we just saw was phenomenal. And the way that we started off the game was even more phenomenal. I think that was my favorite cutscene.
They must have only just captured her. She's putting up quite the fight.
Not a fair one, though. Not with her chained up like that.
Let's even her up, shall we?
Looks like we have to free a dragon now. Who would have expected that our mission would be to free
Look,
a
they've got
dragon.
dragon egg.
Well, that's the
Hebridean
type
from the
of
looks of it.
curveballs that
Can't
this
leave it here,
game
not with the
throws
plans they
and
likely
makes
have for
super
it.
fun for the player to do. So let's go check it out. Let's gather a little bit of gear beforehand. Got an apple, and looks
Aloha
like we
more.
got a lock here. Looks to be some sort of egg, which might come in handy or might be an item we can sell. Should be interesting to find out what exactly it is. I wonder how freeing a dragon will work. That'll be interesting to find
Alright,
out.
I have
So
the egg.
let's head down there, and looks to be
The
a
element of
dragon
surprise
egg.
will only buy us a
So
few seconds.
that might come
Let's
in
make it
handy
count.
to calm down that dragon right over there. But we'll see. But it looks like we have a decent amount of opponents to defeat. But, you know, Axelhammer, my character, and, you know, our friend Poppy, we'll take them out, no problem, no problem. And look at that, we're making quick work of them, and looks like we have a lot of objects to throw at them. And what started off as 8 to 12 people is now down to 3. Just look at how quick of a work we're doing with the poachers and some of the goblin loyalists. So it looks like we have one more opponent to defeat, and then looks like we can help free the dragon from captivity from these poachers. So that'll be interesting to see. So let's go do it. But I stand corrected. Looks like we have one more wave of wizards to defeat. So I know we're probably interfering with their business right now. That's not favorable for them, but what they're doing isn't a good thing. So we as the good guys have to prevail. And I remember hearing that our character can go a dark path, and who knows, we could probably be worse than Voldemort. But I am a proud Gryffindor with my character Axel, so I don't think that we'll be delving into anything that bad. If anything, we'll be like Harry Potter, and look at that fire. That is a crazy attack that we just faced. But I think we'll learn all of the dark art stuff from Sebastian if he's probably going to be the one that'll teach us the rest of the unforgivable curses. But I don't think I will utilize them for the bad as much as I can. Oh, look at that. We got a guy that can transform into an animal. An animagus, I believe they're called. Just like Lupin and the Marauders. But that's an interesting type of opponent we have to face. Also, from what I've seen floating around the internet, I just noticed that Hufflepuff get a pretty cool mission where they get to travel into Azkaban. And I'm surprised that they get to have that house-only mission, but considering how the house is represented throughout the books and series, I'm pretty happy that they get that really cool mission. Let's go free this dragon now. Should be fun to see. That was a wild mission that I truly enjoyed. And like I said, the dragon ones seem to be the best throughout this game.
This may have been a bad idea.
I suppose we'll find out.
This way.
It was a Hebridean black.
I'm guessing the egg we have belongs to that dragon.
I don't think she knew they had her egg. She wouldn't have left without it.
What now? She didn't exactly leave us a calling card.
I don't know. Nothing about this day was expected. Not the goblins, and definitely not the fighting ring. The last thing I planned on was a dragon egg. And the poachers saw us, which cannot be good.
Since the dragon we freed flew off, does that mean we get to keep the egg?
I'd much rather we have it than the poachers, at least for now. But I don't think we should keep it indefinitely. It'll be hard hiding something like this from Professor Weasley for long.
Should we expect trouble from the poachers, given the trouble we just caused?
It'd be foolish not to expect it. They're not a forgiving lot. I'm sorry to say that you likely have a larger target on your back now because of what we just did.
We aren't helping ourselves standing here. Let's get to safety. We can sort this out later.
You're right. If there's anything the poachers are good at, it's tracking their prey. And right now, we're it. Be careful, won't you? I shall see you back at the castle.
That was a crazy, wild mission. That was one of my favorites, I think. But that intro was really good mission as well. So we'll see what else Poppy will have us to do in the future. But we just saved a dragon. How cool is
the
that?
transformation spell. After you've completed the required tasks, which I'm certain will prove useful in finishing your field guide, attend my class to learn the new spell. Afterwards, we will discuss your progress thus far in the term.
There we go. We get a little bit of message from Professor Weasley. So I think this is a good place to stop this part 17. And, you know, I appreciate all the support. You know, like and subscribe. Really helps us out on the channel here. So we'll catch you in the next one. And take care.